Hello and welcome to Back to Basics with Sandra and Lyndall. I do want to give you a little bit of a disclaimer before today's episode. We are going to be talking about suicide, self-harm, and mental health. So if any of these subjects are a trigger for you, then maybe scroll on to the next episode. Hello and welcome to Back to Basics with Sandra and Lyndall. Today we are joined by Caleb once again for part 2. We're chatting to him about his entrepreneurial journeys, his journey with mental health, and all of the things that he's got coming up. So do you feel like, like growing through that and, like gaining success and, having more money in your life, do you feel like that really changed your perspective and your outlook on life?
I feel like a different way to answer that is like the satisfied thing. Like I feel like people just are never satisfied. Like I'm never satisfied. Like if I don't make 10K in a week, I'm like, fuck, I'm so useless, hey. And like I put such like high standards on myself.
I was about to say, you put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Yeah. It's probably why I'm freaking shaking all the time. But I feel like it's just like, there's pressure, hey. Like,
how long is that going to last for, Caleb? Like you're 19 now. You've got a long way ahead of you. Like this lifestyle, is that going to be, it's not healthy to maintain it. Like
I know it's not healthy, but I thought if I can just grind for like 5 years straight, I'd rather work 5 years instead of 60 years.
Yeah.
Like I used to do plumbing. I did it for a week after I dropped out of school. And just like the thought of like, imagine doing this every day, waking up at 5, finishing at 4, cleaning shit.
Yeah.
Like I literally thought like, fuck that. Imagine doing that for 60 years.
Yeah.
Because it's like, obviously.
But some people love it.
Yeah, some people love it.
Yeah.
My best mate loves like, he's a carpenter. He loves it.
And they make a decent coin out of it.
Yeah, they do. But I just like that thought of doing that shit. I was like, nah, I can't.
And what's the reality of making money online? Because I feel like social media does a really great job of glamorizing how cool it can be to
and
do
how
this
easy.
travel and work 2 hours a week and all of this stuff. But like,
I don't feel like you can say you work 2 hours a week. Like I say, I don't really work, but I fucking work my ass off. It's probably like the same as you guys. Like you feel like you have a lot of free time, but then there's also like so much pressure and shit.
Like you're working, but because you love it, you're not actually working.
Yeah, it feels like you're not working.
It's almost like you can't switch off.
You never
like,
switch off. Yeah, I don't think I ever switch off.
I think especially when your business is online, like everyone's got a phone in their hand all the time.
Yeah, it's not hard to just.
Yeah, you can't really like switch off. Like you go home, whereas like if you had a normal 9 to 5, like your home is like, I switch off there. But you can't do that when you work online, right?
The other day, one of the girls said to me, like, because I always have a camera on, like when I'm filming my classes, because you have to get content, right? And she's like, by the time I'm finished from the gym and I'm home, she goes, you've already got a reel up. Like, she was like, how do you even do that? I'm like, you have to do it. Like, you have to.
That's so funny, yeah.
So there's a reason for, like, you're always constantly thinking, like, how am I going to make myself known? How am I going to get exposure? How are you going to stay relevant? Because everyone's a online person these days. So.
It's the relevant thing that I think is really important. Like, do you see that a lot? Like, I feel like the content creation game has changed so much, like even in the last 12 months.
Yeah, how does it feel like? Because content in Australia was so like weird for people, but now it's starting to be normalized.
You can't walk, like, I mean, I know when I walk into a gym, like every second person's got a tripod set up.
Like,
you're like trying to walk over these tripods.
But it's never been like that, hey.
No.
So it's a lot.
Which, like, it's cool. Like, I understand it, obviously, as a business owner. Like, that's what you have to do, and that's cool. But I know for a lot of other people, like, they probably wouldn't understand the reasons why. Do you feel like having, like, a consistent stream of content online is a necessity for a business or
you have to stay consistent.
Yeah.
Like if you stop, no one's gonna like watch your shit, obviously. But
you feel like being on social media is like a necessity?
Well, it depends like what future you want. But like for me, like I need to be posting like my niche and like I need to be like consistent with it. Like, yeah, I feel like Instagram is just like glued to my hand, hey.
And that's why I feel like it is a little bit like glamorized in a way, because we are putting this perfectly curated content online. And I mean, I'm guilty of it too. Like, you always want to post your best side or, your highlight reel, as we say. But I think for a lot of people, it does kind of create this false sense of reality when it does come to, okay, well, I can just quit my 9 to 5 like that and make money online.
Like all your travel videos and stuff, you're like, I want to do what this guy's doing. But really, like you're hustling, like you're doing hard work.
I think like the way I went about my social media is like, that's what I realized. Like no one actually post the real shit.
Mm.
So it's like, fuck, I'm gonna be so different because I feel like there's no one in my niche. Hey,
Yeah.
like I feel like no one actually posts what it feels like,
Yeah.
stuff like that. People talk about it, but they don't actually show their emotions behind it. And I'm a guy as well. Like I feel like vulnerability is like such an important thing.
Yeah.
Like it's made me so strong. Like some guys call me a bitch and shit, but fuck, it's made me like so strong.
Do you feel like there's a fine line between wanting to be realistic and authentic and oversharing?
Yeah.
In
I feel
that
like I
particular
overshare.
niche? Not in a bad way, but in a way where you're going to have some people go, I can really relate to this, and this, it's so good to know that I'm not alone. But then other people go, why the fuck?
Yeah,
this
why is that
person
online?
filming this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's a fine line of, you know, you're going to have like 50% that relate to you and support you, and 50% that you're going to cop hate from. You know, how do you deal with that?
The main thing that I learned, I feel like because I've always been like a crazy kid, like I'll cliff jump, burn my hands on fire, like anything like near death, I sort of just like,
See, like you're so casual about it.
it's just normal to me. It's just normal to me. But
My children are watching, please.
they just start cliff jumping. No, but like it's just like the moment you realize like fuck, no one actually gives a fuck, or just don't give a fuck about anyone else, then like you're like invincible in a way. And because I'm a kid, like I feel like I'm invincible. Like I feel like I don't really give a shit. Like,
yeah.
Did you go through a time though where you really felt like you couldn't post your authentic self for fear of judgment?
Oh yeah, 100%. I only posted it recently just because I was like, fuck, like this would be cool.
Yeah.
Like I only started posting around June was when I really started to like post.
Yeah.
Has your dad said anything about posting? Like, is he worried about you sending that out into the world?
Yes and no. Like
Yeah.
he sort of doesn't understand social media.
Okay.
But yeah, he likes it, but he doesn't.
Okay.
Like because he doesn't like being on camera and stuff like that.
Yeah. And he
There's
probably
some-
doesn't want to be reminded of it either, right?
Oh my god, it broke my heart. I showed him
Yeah.
a documentary.
Yeah.
And I showed him the part of like his mum, my
Yeah. Yeah.
my nan, sorry.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just bawled his eyes out, hey, and he's
Yeah.
like, fuck, do you really want to share like these videos and stuff?
Yeah.
But I was like,
Yeah.
Dad, it's gonna help people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Your purpose. You definitely know what your purpose is.
And like, what are some like keys to success that you can give to people that do want to get out of their 9 to 5?
I think just focus on your mindset to start with. Like, don't quit your job until like you know what you want to do.
Yeah.
So when you're in that job, like use it as motivation. Like when you wake up, hate it so much that you plan shit in your mind while you're working. So just say you're in the office, like when you got like a break, instead of just eating, talking shit, like write shit down, listen to a podcast, like just like honestly just focus on what you want. Because I feel like you got to start with mindset. Like you need to figure out your purpose, you need to figure out your why, how you're going to do it. Like you just need a plan.
But there's nothing wrong with staying 9 to 5. Like I love the regular income. I don't mind my job. Like, you know, I think we were talking about that the other day where it's also okay to stay in it for as long as you need to until you don't need to. Like, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I honestly,
yeah.
I don't mind people that like have 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Like honestly, a lot of people have obviously 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And they're just normal people.
Yeah.
It just depends on like what sort of future you want.
Yeah.
Like,
do you want that flexibility? Do you want to?
Yeah, like everyone's different. Like I like to travel,
Yeah.
not other people like to travel.
Yeah,
so
true.
it just depends on like what person they are.
So do you have a private jet?
Oh, I wish. That's the goal.
Yeah, cool.
Imagine that.
Yeah, and I think that's what, you know, a lot of people do. They're like, oh yeah, I want to quit my job and I want to do this thing, but not actually put work into it, thought into it. Like,
Well, how would you go about it?
in a very similar way that you've just described, really, you have to be planned and calculated. Like, I feel like, you know, we're a little bit older than you, of course, but I feel like the older you get, the more responsibilities you have, the more things you've got to pay for. And obviously, as you start to gain success and you start to gain more money in your life, more money comes into your life, your lifestyle just naturally gets more expensive.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden, you know, like 10 years ago when I was working, you know, I was earning this much and my lifestyle could only be here. But now all of a sudden I'm earning this much and that's where my lifestyle is. So you kind of have a little bit more pressure on yourself, I guess, to make what you're making now, if not more, before you can go, yeah, okay, I feel the stability that I need to quit. And I think of when you've been in a 9 to 5, for some people for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, whatever it is, having that stability and stepping away from that can be really scary.
I feel like that's what I was lucky with though, because obviously I tried committing suicide. So I was like, fuck, I really have nothing to lose. So I had that mentality.
So
When
do
like,
you feel invincible now? Like,
Oh,
is
yeah,
that
fuck
like
yeah.
you have that sort of,
Like my mentality now, like I look in the mirror, I'm like, fuck, I'm actually like a king. Like
Mm.
I'm
Yeah,
the best.
wow.
I'm the greatest. Like
and
that's
you're
how
so
I feel
young.
myself.
That's so good to have that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
like,
I'm not encouraging people to
well,
go
I just,
through
I
that,
just
but
hang out with older people.
yeah.
Like I'm talking with you guys. Like,
Yeah.
You guys are a bit older than me.
Okay.
We're like 25, 25.
It's all right. She's older than me.
Aren't you guys like 25, 26?
Yeah.
We'll
No,
work
but, like,
with
you know
that
what I mean?
narrative. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you.
No, but like my best, like one of my best mates, they're like 30 years old. Both
Yeah.
of them. Like I hang out with older people because
Yeah.
I learn from their mistakes firstly,
Mm.
so I don't have to fuck up.
Yeah.
And then I just understand like what
Mm.
life's all about.
Yeah. A lot of people are immature at your age. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
even
they're
like
still
30-year-olds are immature.
Oh,
like,
yeah. 100%.
Do you feel like your circle of people and your circle of friends has changed as your perspective on life has changed and you've gained more success?
Yeah, it has. Like I used to, like just say if I go on a date with a girl
Mhm.
and she's talking about drama and stuff, I literally just get up and walk away.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Or if it's about like guys and they're just talking shit, like talking about like how many girls they got or like drugs on the weekend and stuff, I literally just like, nah, fuck this.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, I
Do you
could-
take any drugs?
Oh fuck no, no
No.
way.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like a lot of kids my age do,
Mm-hmm.
and like I've just always been like, I used to get so insecure because I never went out, I never did drugs, I never like I don't really drink. I've probably drank once this year already. And like I felt out of place until because like it's like cool to do that shit
Yeah. Or drink and get blind
Yeah,
on the
it's like-
weekend. Yeah.
because people post on social media like, oh my god, I'm drunk as.
Yeah.
And I used to feel so insecure, and that's why I was shy as well because
Yeah.
I just wasn't in that circle.
Mm.
And now that I'm older, I'm like, fuck, these guys are going to be doing this weekly,
Mm-hmm.
spending like $300 a night while I'm making $300 an hour. Like,
Yeah. Crazy.
And I think it's really about what you want to focus on.
Yeah.
You know, some people like focusing on going out and getting wasted, and that's their life, and that's what they feel they have to do.
That's
to
what I
fit
was
in,
doing when I
and-
was 19. I wasn't doing what you
Yeah,
like
same.
at all.
well, I feel like I don't know. It's everyone's different. Like
But I
figured
think
out my
the
purpose.
times have changed as well. Like when we were young, we like were, you know, I don't know about you, but my main goal coming out of high school was get a fake ID because I was still 17 and I couldn't go clubbing.
I had one.
Yeah. So it was that. But like I think now, like growing up, young people growing up at this time, like my nephew wants to be a pilot. So his goal is at 15, I'm dropping out and I'm going to go and be a pilot, which is incredible. He's already researched how much they make a year. And I just, when he speaks, I look at him and I'm like, you are so incredible that you've got
But we
that.
didn't have that access to all of that information
Mm.
either. Like I started my first business when I was 17
Mm.
and I sold products through, I don't know if you know this website, Tumblr
Mm.
and LiveJournal,
He would
which
have
are basically
no
blog.
idea.
They're blogging.
Tumblr.
Yeah, Tumblr. They're blogging sites.
Did you? You
essentially.
wouldn't have had MySpace, nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Babe.
No, he's going red because he's like, I have no idea
Yeah,
what
So
you're talking about.
it's like that's the only platforms that were there
Yeah.
back then. You know, we had fucking dial-up internet and Tumblr,
Mhm.
right? And I sold.
She's
I sell
showing her
products.
age now.
I really am, but you know, we didn't. You know, we
Yeah.
couldn't just jump online and do the latest
No,
post to
at
upskill
all,
ourselves.
no.
Or,
And like honestly,
you know.
one TikTok, if it gets like 10 million views
Mm.
with your product,
Mm.
fuck.
Yeah.
You could just be rich
and
overnight.
on that
Yeah.
topic, like, how do you create content that you know is going to go viral?
Your tips.
So obviously like my university is like how to grow social media, how to make money
Mhm.
through videography and stuff like that. And the main thing I teach is your content needs to be high quality, high value and relatable. So if people can relate to you, they're going to engage more. So the more engagement you get, the more followers. If it's got value, people obviously want to learn. They want value. So they're going to want that and high quality. And having a niche too, like a perspective of like a GP and a specialist. Like a GP is generalized and a specialized is specialist.
Mhm.
Like a specialized, sorry. Who makes more money?
Mhm.
Yeah,
The specialist.
specialist.
So if you like got a niche, that's like important as well. I don't know. There's so many ways to like grow and like get viral content. But I feel like those are the three main things. Four
What's-
main things actually.
What's your point of difference with your school, obviously your education? I think you said in one of your podcasts that you actually connect videographers with people that you know in your network as well, like to help them or?
Like it depends where they are because like I've got people all around the world.
Yep.
So it's hard to help people like around the world.
Mm-hmm.
But I just tell them like what they need to know, how to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like
then,
the
yeah.
blueprint, like step by step.
Yeah, it's cool though because some of my students making like 15K a month.
Yeah, wow.
Some make like 3K in a day and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's cool like my knowledge actually works because
Yeah.
obviously you go into it like you think you know what you're doing, but you sort of just like wing it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And was it a bit of trial and error for you to work out those keys of success? Or did you actually like do a course or have a mentor? Or?
Yeah, so the guy, Luke Belmar, he made like $1 million in a day when I was with him. Like
What?
$1 million, yeah, I know.
What?
Because like he did
Write that name
Like,
down.
yeah.
No, seriously.
Well,
like
like selling his
he's-
products online.
No. So he got rich from crypto.
Right.
He does e-com as well.
Right.
But he created this club called Capital Club. And it's basically just like a club of like the most successful people around the world, entrepreneurs around the world. And it's so hard to get into. And like I was like, it's so cool how he's made it so secretive, but also like such a good way to make money. Because he's teaching people while they're also teaching each other, but he's just like the main guy of it. So it's like $15,000 for a ticket. Plus you got to like fly over there and shit. And he does it in all different places around the world.
So you got invited to that?
Well, I was
club?
filming him. So
Oh, wow.
This is how I learned how to make money. Cause
Yeah.
I was literally I asked so many questions. There's probably about, I think there was like 45 entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Like guys making like 100 mil in a month,
Wow.
$1 million in a day, 5 million in a day.
All men?
There was, I think there was 3 girls.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly men.
Yeah, crazy.
So yeah, like I just asked a bunch of questions from these guys and they just told me every single way to get rich through videography. So they just basically said like use videography as a core to get your networking because it's easy to network when you're holding a camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're in a club, it's easy to talk to someone because you're holding a camera.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, dance with me and then start a conversation like that, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. So yeah, they just taught me like ways like that.
And I feel like, it sounds like you've had a really like great beginning into that. I feel like
I've been lucky
people,
for sure.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people will definitely go down that rabbit hole and see a lot of those kind of get rich quick online things and go for that, and just doesn't really work out that way. But I feel like you kind of haven't had that experience in a way.
Yeah, like I feel because my students try to rush it. The main thing is patience. Like
Yeah.
I've been doing videography for 3 years. Like this has been a 3-year thing. It's not like I've just overnight. So it's like you need to like just plan it and then attack it.
Yeah.
And keep like consistent and persistent as well. Like keep going. Like you're not going to always have a good month. You're not going to always have
Yeah, 100%.
a good day. Like so you just need to keep, going through the motions and getting over those.
The key thing is like listening too.
Yeah.
Like you guys know something that I don't. I know
Mhm.
something that you guys don't.
Yeah.
So like no matter how successful someone is, like always good to listen. Even if someone's making less money than me, I always listen to see what they know that could actually like help my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because they might have an idea that's like a fucking $1 million idea, but they just don't know how to attack it.
Mm-hmm.
And then just sort of grab it, steal it. No, but like just listening to people and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Cool.
And like on like ideas and content creation, is there like content that you've put out there that you thought would be really successful that just wasn't?
I don't know. My stuff's been like popping off recently. Like I started with 13K last year in June, and now I'm at 72K, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like in the past 4 days, I've grown 20K followers.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. And
Just
it's
from viral videos.
Yeah, so I've got 4 videos like going viral at the moment.
Yeah,
And it's just because my stuff's so relatable. Like that's why I say relatable, valuable, high quality. If it's high quality, the image looks insane. It's good. Obviously, I'm a videographer, so it helps me because like I know what looks good on like to the eyes.
Yeah.
Simon, make our videos go viral.
I can help you guys out.
Thank you.
Yeah, it just needs to be valuable and relatable too. So, like your cellulite video the other day, it's relatable. So like people see that.
Yeah, that went viral.
Yeah. And like if you made that high quality, like a bit more high quality, like if you like show it more, explain it more, stuff like that, it can show who you are.
Yeah.
And showing your face a lot more is like good too.
Yeah, definitely.
Because people can follow you and that's it.
It's so funny the things that
You think would go viral?
don't. Like I put so much work into some things and they just don't hit the mark. And then things like that video that I put up, like I was on holidays, I wasn't wearing makeup, like I was just at the pool.
But that's relatable, as we're saying.
That's why it was not great quality. And then
it was like, I'm just a bit quiet. I'm gonna film a video. But I think as well, like with fitness, it's also about what's trending at the moment. So there's a lot of guys like Duran and James, and they're very controversial in what they post online. So I think I don't know about you, but I look at stuff like that and I kind of get inspiration from what they're talking about as well. And then we try and
I almost feel like some creators go out of their way to be controversial and like you can tell that they want to go viral.
Yeah.
Like you can tell that that's
but
the end
people
goal.
easily take the bait and they make them go viral.
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a weird world.
All right, we'll sign up to your academy. You sold us, Caleb.
So, like, what's one thing that people can start doing to like begin to realize their potential? Because I feel like a lot of people are sitting back and they're just like, yeah, that would be a cool life to have, but I'll never get there. You know what
It's
I mean?
literally all my students. Like, I had this kid that he's from Spain and he was a chef, he quit his job and he's like, bro, I don't know my purpose, but I just want to do something. I was like, look, I'm going to teach you videography. I feel like just getting out there and doing different shit helps. But basically just showed him how to become a videographer. And now he's like just making good money. He's just cliff jumping, like jet skiing and shit like that. And he's living the life.
That's so good.
So like, I feel like, I don't know if it's like the best like advice, but I don't know, just doing different things. And just
you almost kind of just have to experience it, right? See if
life
you like
experiences.
it, see if you're good at it, and see if other people enjoy what you put out there.
Yeah, like life experience is like the most important thing.
So many people don't have a second thing that they're interested in. Like I know females, like I talk to them and they ask me like, how do you fit so much on your plate? And I said, because I love doing all this other stuff outside of my everyday life.
I've never just had one job.
Yeah.
Like I've never just had one job.
So
like
many
ever
people
since I was a teenager, ever since I started working really, I've always had a business on the side or I've done something else, like in multiple streams of income. And that just naturally came to me. It's not like, oh, I want to invest in multiple streams of income. It's just kind of something I've always done because I have multiple interests.
It's like you have that itch.
Yeah.
Like
It's
you
just
always
fun.
just want to do it.
Like, it's just so exciting. Like you guys probably get those days where you're just like, fuck, this is a cool idea. You start writing it down. Like, oh my God, it's just so
our
exciting.
messages literally like, oh, we should do this for a podcast.
I'm literally in the process of like building a website at the moment for another business venture that I want to jump into, just because I was like, well, what if, you know, what if who get this $29 for a Shopify?
The only advice I would give to people is like, make sure you do one thing at the start, just to give 100%. Like my 100% thing was videography. And through that, it's like gotten me other things.
And I think you have to do that one thing for a period of time. I think people do that one thing for 2 or 3 months and
it has to be like that.
Not make a sale or not whatever. And then they're like, oh, I can't do it.
What's
like,
your one thing? Like,
my one thing is fitness.
Yes,
and everything branches from that. I've been in the fitness industry for over 10 years and I've had multiple roles within the industry, whether it's being a personal trainer myself. I've managed other people's very successful businesses. I've had my own gym that was very successful for a number of years, online coaching. And then things have kind of spanned from that. So like, you know, challenges, you know, like apparel, clothing, like accessories, all of that have kind of spanned from that. And that's where my network is as well. I'm also a hairdresser by trade as well. Really? That was my first ever job, was hairdressing. And I don't really do much hair anymore. I kind of teach hairdressers. But I've kind of got this small bucket of clients that are mostly just like my friends or friends of friends or family of friends that, or my ex-clients. And they're like, oh, can you do my hair? And I'm like, but you don't even know if I'm a good hairdresser. And they're like, yeah, but you're my personal trainer. Really? I just like you.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So it is really about the networking.
That's so important. The best thing I learned was making sure your clients are like friends, like making sure they feel so comfortable with you, making them feel like they like honestly your friend.
You need that connection.
Yeah. Like, so my toxic trait is that a lot of my clients end up becoming my friends.
Yeah.
Exhibit A.
It's the same as me because like you get like too emotionally connected.
Yeah.
Which is like fine, but it just depends on the person. But I feel like that's so important. Because if you build one good relationship through that person, you never know like who they know, and it just goes on.
Yeah, definitely. So what's next for Caleb?
What's next for me is I don't look too far in the future, but my documentary, my clothing brand, my university. Like
what's your documentary called?
Don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna have like a series called Road to a Mill.
Okay.
But I'll probably call it like I Beat Suicide or I don't know.
Oh, you can do better than that.
Yeah. Yeah, you put me on the spot. I've been thinking of this for like 6 months.
It'll come to you one day.
I feel like it'll just naturally come. But I'm dropping it on my birthday. I was like, if I post this on my 20th, so July 10th will be out.
Wow.
So I thought it'd be so cool. Just
so it's gonna be exclusive. Like you have to access it from somewhere. Like
it'll be on YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
I was gonna get it on Netflix, but it's another 6 months wait. I was like,
how incredible!
Yeah, but it's just too long wait.
July 10th. And how long does it go for?
I haven't finished it yet, but it's probably gonna be like 40 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome.
So,
Oh, we can't wait.
Massive.
We can't wait. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. We're going to be posting all of Caleb's links below. So if you do want to reach out to him, please do so. Give him a follow. But until next time,